So now it is on. Let me refresh this page, see if it comes up. It's not popping up yet, but it's gonna pop up soon. Okay, let's see. No. Okay, we are live. Okay, that's good. Welcome to the undisputed king of sports. I'm here with Faz, and it's been a minute since we streamed, but life has its own share of different events that stops people from streaming. But yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about the Poch sacking, and plus we're gonna dabble into a little bit of Arnold Slot and how we feel about his appointment at Liverpool, and then we just go on from there. But Faz, how you feeling? You got the news you wanted. Poch is gone.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of like you got the news you wanted, but not in the manner in which you wanted it. And I mean, this has happened throughout my life with things happening. Yeah, it's happened or it's over, but it's not the way you wanted it to end.
Mm-hmm.
You know? We should have sacked it. If the idea was to wait for the end of the season and review what he's done and part ways, then this has been coming for months. You know, they made the decision to go their separate ways months ago. You listen to what he said, I believe it was about a month ago, when he was asked about Chelsea, and he basically said along the lines of, maybe it's not their decision if I stay or go, which is effectively saying I'm going to walk. You know,
Why would you think you want to walk?
Pardon?
Why would you think you want to walk?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because it seems like he has an obsession with roadrunners like Gallagher, and Gallagher will be sold. I know there's a lot of Chelsea fans that were upset. I'm not one of them. The stuff he does off the ball, fine, great. You know, this season he's been okay. But there's other players across Europe that we could get that would do that same job, where they're constantly tracking back, winning the ball back. But then they'd actually be a good footballer on top of that. You know, there's players out there that can do all of that, but still create. He's terrible. I know he's chipped in with a few goals here and there, but whenever I think about him in front of goal, I think about the 4 big misses he had against Liverpool in the cup final. That was Mason Mount-esque, you know? It was terrible. So I'm not concerned if Conor Gallagher is to leave Chelsea Football Club. He doesn't strengthen a rival, you know? I don't look at it like, oh no, we've lost Juan Mata to Man United. I don't care about Gallagher. Trevor Chalobah, though, wow.
25 mil.
Since he's been back from injury, he's been our best defender. There's no disputing that. I criticised him a lot. Maybe I went prematurely on criticising him because he did suffer a lot of injuries or setbacks in the last few seasons. Under Tuchel, he was great every time he played. And he's really showing that player again. And you look at players like Axel Disasi, who I've tried not to write off at times this season, but I'm really at the end of it now with him. He's just shit. There's just no other way to describe it. He's just not a good football player, you know? And we've purchased him for 40-odd million, and now we're going to lose Trevor Chalobah for 25 million when Chalobah is probably worth more than Disasi, and he's better than Disasi, you know? A little story as well to add about Disasi, which made me lose even more respect for him. I saw him at the Chelsea game a few weeks ago, and there was all these kids there trying to get a picture with him. He's left the hotel. He's put his hood up, and he's like put his hood up, face straight down, not taking pictures with kids. There was 4 or 5 kids there. You know, mostly everyone had left. So I could understand if there's 100 people waiting outside the ground for you. You want to get in your Uber and go, fine, or cab, whatever. There was 4 or 5 kids. Who do you think you are? That's my ultimate question to Disasi and a lot of these players. Who the fuck do you think you are? You are not that guy. You are a bum. You are not Chelsea level. You're not even Leicester City level. You're barely even Ipswich Town level. And you have the audacity to not stop for kids. It's a joke, you know? So after seeing that, like I said, before that, I was defending him, you know, yeah, come good, he's shown moments. Oh, he's a bit like Rudiger. No, he's not like Rudiger. The only thing is, the only similarities between him and Tony Rudiger is he's a bit of a shithouse. But at least Rudiger backed it up with good performances, unlike this idiot. Looking like the robot from Futurama. I'm sick and tired of him now. He can go. Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey.
So... Anyway, so I've not even really touched on it. So yeah, so that was that really. Poch wanted more say in ins and outs. Would I have been comfortable with Poch making those decisions? No, because a manager or a coach shouldn't be the one making those decisions, especially when he's been there for 11 months and he's been shit for 9 of those 11 months. So he doesn't have the right to dictate and say, I want a say on this and that.
Maybe
and especially when he was the one saying...
I got a question real quick. So what if he could have the argument of, well, if I had the type of players I wanted, I could do better. Even though it was bad this season, Chelsea still finished 6th. He's better than Potter. Let's be honest, fans. If it wasn't for the fans' outrage and the pressure, they would have kept Potter longer than Poch. Let's be real. They wanted to keep Potter. So So when you really look at it, this is an upgrade. He deserves the time that you would have given to Potter, realistically. And if you want to sacking him ain't the issue. Is what you sacked the guy when the guy was doing well. If you sacked him like when you said you should sack him, or if you sacked him earlier, then there's a whole different ball game. The problem is the timing of the sacking. The players actually said, apparently the players, Jackson, did you see Jackson's reaction to it? Yeah,
fuck that guy as well.
Why? He started getting better towards the end of the season. Same with everybody. Do you know how you know when a team is upset when a manager leaves? Yeah, it's how they react.
But Jackson should be upset with himself. A lot of these players are to blame. I don't like to defend Poch, but there's games this season where Poch did coach a win, and players like Jackson have let him down. So if Jackson's upset and confused with anything or anyone, he should be confused with himself because his finishing is abysmal.
Mm-hmm. I feel it. I feel it. At the end of the day,
it's like if Darwin, if Klopp got sacked by Liverpool and Darwin Núñez came out and was like, I'm so confused and hurt and I don't understand why this has happened. You would have been one of the reasons, Darwin Núñez. So it doesn't make any sense to see Jackson come out and be like, I'm confused. Why are you confused? Use your brain. You miss countless opportunities against very poor opposition that we should have got 3 points against. Not just him. I'm not just trying to dog on Jackson. And you know, I like Jackson. But his comments just annoyed me. You know? And all the others that are coming out and saying like they're hurt and all these leaks from idiot Matt Law.
I do believe that they are hurt, and I do believe that Chelsea was starting to figure it out. I'm not gonna lie, if Chelsea improved the right areas and all that stuff on the Poch and everything progressed the way it was going, the trajectory was a comfortable top 4 finish. That was the trajectory. But the problem is when you get a new manager, everything resets because the manager's.
But Wale, we could have finished.
Let me ask you this: what style of football do you think Poch plays? Like roughly, like would you say he plays possession based? Would you say he plays
I couldn't tell you, man.
Okay,
I genuinely couldn't tell you because
possession-based manager. If Poch does not play possession-based manager, that means you got a bedding period that you have to go through all over again with a manager that is less experienced, a manager that's never coached players that big. Imagine if you're Enzo Fernandez. I'm using him as an example. Enzo Fernandez, some championship manager that stopped playing football at 23, comes up to you, that's 38 years old, so same age as Thiago Silva without the accolades, comes up to you, used to manage Ipswich, and tries to tell you what to do. He might look at him and go, bro, you know who I am? I've won World Cups. You've never been to a World Cup. So And plus,
Yeah,
he's a
but
young
the
manager as
thing
well.
is, Enzo Fernandez would be very arrogant to talk like that because he has not shown anything this season, you know? So he should be shutting his mouth and listening to what a manager has to say to learn and to get better. Because he's not got better. He's actually regressed.
I get what you mean, but my thing is this.
But, well, to touch on Kieran McKenna, Vincent Kompany, Enzo, whatever his name is from Leicester, I do believe that this is a smokescreen. There's no way they're talking. It doesn't make sense. 1 minute you're talking about it's vital that we get top 4 next season or Champions League qualification via top 4 or the Europa League. And then in the next breath, you're talking about you're going to give a young manager the job from the Championship. This isn't even most of these. So other than Kompany, the other 2 from the Championship have never managed in the Premier League. Pardon?
Joe said Poch is better than Mourinho.
Yeah, I'm not going to reply to boring troll comments like that because it's just simply not true.
Let me ask you this here. Okay, so if it's a smoke screen, let me ask you this question. So they want possession based. That's one.
Yeah, but they're just saying all of that. The possession-based counter-attacking, it doesn't matter, Wale. We just need a tactician. We need a good manager.
No, but Faz, they believe these managers are good managers. They believe these managers are solid, great managers. They generally believe that because I know you say this.
Listen,
but here's the thing, Faz. Out of all the managers that Chelsea have brought in on this ownership, can you honestly go, yo, I can see why they brought him.
No, but let me tell you this, Wale.
Their track record is telling you what they are.
Wale.
Yeah.
Listen, the thing is, if they get this managerial appointment wrong again, it will get ugly at Chelsea. We aren't a team like Arsenal where our fans will just complain online and no results. If you remember the Super League, we were the first fan base to riot outside the ground, kick off, and Petr Cech had to come out. These American owners do not want Chelsea fans to lose it, and they're very quickly going to get to that. Yeah, but he's just a tool. He just talks online. He talks and he flip flops, all the time. But it's getting to a stage now where Chelsea fans have had enough.
Okay, so fast. If you think this is a smokescreen and they do not want a young manager, and they did not want because fast, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen consistently by multiple sources. They want to find a Xabi Alonso type manager, someone that's young, that can.
Which doesn't even make sense.
So fast. Let me tell you. When I say Xabi Alonso type manager, they want to find a young manager that can improve the team as quick as Xabi Alonso did for Leverkusen.
So who is that then?
Hey man, what's the guy at Ipswich? They might think he is. Connor, them are telling me he's a good manager. Mate,
look, listen. The thing is, we're talking about 2 different things here. Xabi Alonso went into a Bayer Leverkusen side who was 17th in the league when he took over. Yeah. So the expectation there was not, you're winning the league this year. Even this season, he wasn't expected to do that. Kieran McKenna coming in is expected to get top 4. That's what they've set out the requirement as, to get top 4 or win the Europa League. He's never been in the Premier League. He's never competed in the Europa League. So how can we expect him to come and do anything? That's what I'm saying. Either that's all bollocks and they've just earmarked these managers whilst they go for their real target, hopefully Thomas Tuchel or Allegri. You don't know that. We don't know that. Listen, I'll keep being optimistic. I'll say this. Hold on, Wale.
Americans are very stubborn people, and then you
listen.
Like a rich American. They are too proud to admit that.
But as I said, they can be as proud and arrogant and stupid as they want. Yeah, but it won't last. It won't end well for them if they continue. If they get this appointment wrong, it's going to get ugly at Chelsea.
But people are gonna give the manager a chance.
No.
So let's say Paul McKenna gets the job. You don't think Chelsea fans are giving him a chance?
What's the point? I'm not saying there won't be fans that
So
give him a chance, but
I got a question. Is Paul McKenna a better manager than Poch?
no, none of the managers we've been linked with are better than Poch. But sacking Poch isn't the issue. Sacking Poch and then hiring someone worse than him is the
No,
issue.
but fans, they want a yes man. That's what this tells me. They want someone they can control. Because let's say they don't want the manager to get involved. You know what's actually crazy when they say that, because the manager don't want it to just focus on managing. Yeah, that's originally what Thomas. Okay,
Yeah, go on.
that's originally what Thomas Tuchel wanted.
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel did not want to get involved. He just wanted to manage. So the fact that they want a manager to not get involved, it creates a very, very dicey situation. Realistically, if you want a guy that fits those requirements that you're looking for, there's one manager out there that is young, he's successful, and fits those requirements. Do you know who that manager is?
Ruben Amorim.
Exactly. He's the only manager. He is the only manager that fits to what they're looking for. He's not. He's 30. He's
I wouldn't mind the
old.
Porto manager as well.
I don't know his name.
He's called like Sergio Con. I don't know.
Hansi Flick is twerking for the job, but they're saying they want
Who?
Hansi Flick. He's twerking for the job.
That could be the guy. That I just forgot about him.
Wait,
that could be the guy.
How old is he?
He must be in his late 40s.
How old is he? Let me check.
But you're putting too much emphasis on the young thing.
Nah, man. Let me see. I think Hansi Flick is 50.
Because with Hansi Flick, he's been at a lot of games recently, over the past few months.
Some people were saying Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I don't know about that. I don't know how much I like the idea of Cesc Fabregas being Chelsea manager.
Man,
maybe in a few years.
Same type of player as Xabi Alonso. Okay, now Hansi Flick is old as shit.
52?
59.
Christ.
Okay, let's see. Okay, Poch is 52. Tuchel is 50. Obviously, you can't get Nagelsmann. He signed a new contract. You can't get the.
I don't want him either.
I saw the Stuttgart manager on the list.
Yeah, Arne.
He's not joining. Do you know why? He turned out Bayern Munich. He turned out Bayern Munich, and he said he wants to stay at Stuttgart for another year. And he's in Champions League.
I mean, the thing is, Wale, as I said, we have to get this managerial appointment right. We cannot afford to get it wrong. We've been very lucky.
Young manager then, in your opinion? I know it's a smoke screen, but like these reporters get briefed information.
I don't know, because this is the thing, yeah. People are holding on to all of this. Let me say this, Wale, yeah. People are going on like everything that's coming out now is gospel, yeah, from people like Matt Law, who's lied.
I will say this. Matt Law was the guy that broke the news that he got sacked.
But Matt Law was also the guy that said that Rudiger was bullying youth players and doing all of this stuff, and then it came out that he made it all up.
Okay, that's fair. But
I'm not saying that he doesn't have like a source or whatever, or when it was about to break, he found out, yeah? But none of these people have been... There was one person who was saying, Poch might walk. But none of them talked about it 24 hours prior, 2 days prior, saying, yeah, he's definitely gone on Tuesday. No one said that. But now, all of a sudden, none of them had any information that he was leaving the club. But now they seem to know who's coming in, who's going to be the deputy, who's going to do this, that we're getting in this person, we're getting in that person. How does that make sense? That they didn't know he was going to get sacked, but yet they know his replacement.
I'm not going to lie to you, Fez. I do know this because I know this in boxing spaces. Maybe football is different. But I do know that some people get briefed information, but they're not allowed to release it. And if they release it, that can ruin their connection. So some of them hold on to information a bit longer. So then when things start happening, that's when they start leaking more information about what's going on. But maybe they didn't want them to leak the information. And you don't want to ruin a connection if you already know this stuff months ago to do that. Fabricio has said, let me see, Fabricio did say, because I saw his tweet, he did say you are in talks, or you guys have been discussing. the Ipswich manager. That's what Fab said. He said he's the one that you guys have been talking about. Let me see where it is. He said, okay, so here it is. The names been mentioned. Thomas Frank, who currently apparently is in talks with Bayern Munich. Kieran McKenna. That Enzo guy. All have been mentioned in Chelsea internally. It's still an open race.
Look, the thing with the Kieran McKenna thing is,
Company,
I don't want to
talk to a company or Tuchel, Flick,
Good.
or Conte, or you don't want company.
The thing about Kieran McKenna is this, yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know much about him. I know he's managed and done well. I know he's gotten promoted from League One to the Championship, and then the Championship to the Premier League in back-to-back seasons, which is a phenomenal achievement. Fair play, yeah. But this is different. The level is different. Now, if Kieran McKenna does come in and he's the Chelsea manager, I will back him. I will want him to succeed.
Do you know how old he is?
35.
He's 38.
That's what I'm saying. But if he comes in, I will back him. I won't want him to fail. I don't want that for Chelsea Football Club. But there's one man that I will not want from day one, and that's Roberto De Zerbi. I hate him. I already don't want him. If it's him, I'm taking the season off. And I don't care if people call me a plastic or anything. I won't be watching us.
I'm going to be honest with you first. I'm going to be honest with you. I know you said you got to get the appointment right. But let me tell you right now. You said there'll be uproar. That's one manager that no Chelsea fan will uproar, other than people like you.
Yeah.
So all people like Carefree Lewis, all of these guys, they will be very happy to have De Zerbi.
Yeah, but it's because they're all flip-flops as well. And then the moment he comes and they're talking all this crap about, because he was at Shakhtar with that Mudryk guy, yeah, they're talking all this crap about, he's going to come in and Mudryk will start playing. No, he won't. He'll still be a bum. He still won't know how to do anything other than run. And when that happens, then they're going to be like, we thought De Zerbi was the guy to come and fix this. And then they talk about, he's tactically not good enough. He's Potter 2.0. And they're all going to flip-flop and pretend that they never wanted him. But I'm going to be ahead of the curve, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want him anywhere near the football club. He's a bum. It's not going to end well. It's not even going to start well. We'd probably have someone like Ipswich Town first day of the season and lose 3-0. It won't even fucking start well. Managing Brighton and Hove Albion, yeah, is not the same thing as managing Chelsea Football Club. I watched when they lost 5-0 to Everton last season. There's no uproar from the Brighton fans. They've been losing. They've been losing big scorelines. But no one cares at Brighton because the expectation is to just stay in the league. What they did last year was a bonus to get European football. They can't believe it. You know?
Oh, yeah, they're
not going to sack a manager like that unless he's flirting with relegation.
I swear they got whipped 4-0 by Roma.
That's what I'm saying.
But I will say this first. I'm looking at McKenna's resume. So he managed Tottenham under 18s. He managed Man United under 18s. And after that, he managed Ipswich Town. He's been managing them since 2021. So, yeah.
Listen, Wale. We can't.
First.
You what?
I think he needs like a Palace level team first. And then from a Palace level team, you get a West Ham. And from West Ham, you get like a Tottenham. And then
listen, Chelsea need a winner. Chelsea need someone who's won a Champions League, who's won league titles. It doesn't have to be league titles in England, you know. But I know people will talk about Zidane and talk about, he three-peated the Champions League, but it's because he had Ronaldo, Mudryk, Kroos, all of these players. He's still a winner. That manager will walk in with respect.
Do you think you'll like the structure at Chelsea? Or would you think?
I don't know. I'm not Zinedine Zidane.
Or you think they'll accommodate the structure to be different for him to fit in?
Perhaps. I mean, you can't mess around a guy like Zidane.
No,
you know.
Faz, here's the thing about Zidane. Zidane is one of the greatest players of all time, and he's a solid manager.
Yeah.
Like Zidane is one of those people that he's just good at everything.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that like y'all, I can't imagine Zidane being bad at anything when it comes to do with football. I generally
No.
think he's one of those type of dudes that a lot of people respect. Like players can't talk back to Zidane. What's someone like Enzo gonna say to Zidane? Zidane in his prime is better than Enzo. Like,
Zidane in his prime is better than anyone that's played for Chelsea Football Club.
Exactly, that's the point.
So.
Oh yeah, not only that, Enzo can't use the World Cup flex because Zidane got a World Cup. He got Euros too.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Zidane's someone who's not really been linked with us, but I'd take Zidane in a heartbeat. I think he's one of the better options.
I just think the Chelsea job is the hardest job in football. I feel like that job's harder than Man United. Do you
know what this reminds me of?
Let me say this real quick.
I don't know if you'll remember when Antonio Conte was there. Mm-hmm. Was it Conte or was it Sarri? No, it would have been Conte, I believe. And we was after a new striker. We ended up getting Olivier Giroud. But before we got Giroud, we were linked with Ashley Barnes, mate. We was linked with Peter Crouch, I believe. We was linked with Callum Wilson. You know? Gone. Joshua King were the players we were being linked with. No, but what I'm saying is to put it into context, but back then we was getting linked with terrible strikers that people were saying, this isn't Chelsea level. Now we're getting linked with terrible managers.
No, but the difference is...
But we didn't end up with a bad striker. We ended up with Giroud.
But the difference is, Faz, look, these are the names that obviously Mauricio has been briefing. Those are the names. Obviously, he said it's an open race. They're still looking and thinking about what they want to do. The problem is, Abramovich has a track record for bringing in winners. Abramovich knows football. Abramovich, as much as people can say Abramovich was a dictator, he sacked people. Abramovich knows when to sack. If Poch is winning 5 games in a row, you think about Abramovich is sacking him?
Probably.
No, Faz. He would have sacked him earlier.
Yeah.
He would have sacked him earlier. Because what Abramovich would be thinking is, I can still salvage this season.
Yeah.
If I sack him earlier, I can replace him earlier.
And that's the big thing for me. If the plan was to always get rid of him, why didn't you get rid of him after the cup final?
Now, Faz, they're stupid now because now they put themselves in a position where people will actually go, maybe Poch could have done something. So now you created a what if that could have never been there if you sacked him earlier. So now they're making themselves look stupid. Because now people can make a case of, if Poch had more time, I don't know, man, we could have got Champions League. Because now the next manager cannot finish below 6. He can't even finish 6 next season.
Yeah.
And the
I mean, but you say that, Wale, but the thing is...
Stinky. This is the worst manager market. All of them are...
Wale, this is the thing, though, yeah? You say that about the next manager can't finish 6 or lower, or he has to finish higher than 6. But, bro, this idiot weren't finishing 6 until Man United went on a terrible run, Newcastle, Brighton, all of these teams, and we went on a run of 6 wins, yeah?
That's not his problem. Because we could apply that same logic to Man City winning the league. Man City were like 3rd or like closer to...
No, because it's not the same thing, though, bro. And on top of that...
All you can do as a club is win your games. If everybody else decides to mess up, that's not your problem.
But then but that's different. Man City can't finish higher than 1st. Yeah? Now we look at it and think, this idiot changed it, changed the system, we started playing better, we finished 6 comfortably, yeah? In the last few games, it was obvious that we was going to finish above United and Newcastle, yeah? Mm-hmm. Then you start to question, we finished 5 points off Aston Villa. 5 points off a Champions League spot.
Okay, let me give you an analogy.
So we could have finished higher. Man City winning their last 18, 20 games, they can't finish higher than 1st.
What if, this is a what if, yeah. What if the team just suddenly started to click at that point? And that no matter what... Okay, before you start that, and no matter what happened, this was always going to happen. What if... let me give you another what if. What if the next manager comes in, takes you guys back to 11th? What happens then?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a manager like Kieran McKenna.
Because Faz, if the manager's worse than Poch, it just makes Poch look better. No, if you carry on getting people, because here's the thing you got to keep in mind: the manager market sucks. It's not good.
Yeah.
There's no good managers out there, and if you got good, if the managers that are good, a lot of them are washed. They're all finished. They're not the
Yeah.
same as they were before. So when you look at the landscape, it's not just about second manager. Is can I get better in the market?
One
And
sec.
uh,
Yeah.
can I get better in the market? And obviously, there is possibilities to get better, but is the better really actually gonna come? And then at the end of the day, like I said, Abramovich knew when to sack people. He wouldn't have built this Chelsea team in this way. He would have signed players that are ready to win now. And now you're in a situation where you're trying to find the next Xavi Alonso. And if you want to go the Arteta route, you know what's gonna happen, Faz? You gotta wait for a couple of years to be bad, just to be good.
What Arteta route? This is what annoys me though. I don't want to go down the Arteta route. I don't want to finish second. I want to win the league. I want to win the Champions League. I don't want us to go out to a poor Bayern Munich side and be like, oh, well, yes, at least we're back in the Champions League. Oh, yes, at least we're finishing 2 points behind City.
So
Fuck all that. I want to win the league. Don't this whole copying Arsenal's model and Arteta's model. Why?
We don't copy the Alonso model.
Alonso's a treble winner. He's going to be an undefeated treble winner.
Okay.
I understand trying to copy that. Okay. But why would we want to copy Arteta?
Okay, so first,
he's not won anything.
Okay, let me ask you this. Where'd you find Alonso?
You what? You don't. It's a unique thing.
Because here's the thing, Faz. If you look at all the managers you're linked with, are any of them better than Pep Guardiola? Or even on, like, if you were to do a tier list, are they on the same tier as a Guardiola?
What, is there a manager on the same tier list as Guardiola?
That you can realistically get based on how they are coaching?
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel.
He's not Guardiola level, man.
He literally spanked him 3 times in 6 weeks.
He's not Guardiola level. No, league-wise, he's not Guardiola level.
In terms of tactics, he's on Guardiola's level. He definitely could take us.
League-wise, he's not, man.
But we didn't. But we've not given him a chance to try and win us a league title.
What do you mean? How many years was he at Chelsea for?
He was at one. He had 1 full season at Chelsea.
He's not coming.
And we finished 3rd.
Okay.
And then.
Okay, then what happened with Bayern then?
An anomaly.
Hey, man,
anomalies happen. Bayer Leverkusen have gone undefeated in the league. They didn't finish this Bayern Munich team have more points than most of the teams that they've had for the last 20 odd years.
Okay, no, I get that, but they finished below Stuttgart. Do you know what,
but it doesn't matter if you don't win. If you don't win the league, it doesn't matter where you finish.
Let me give you a fun fact first. Do you know where Stuttgart was the year before in the league?
12th.
They were battling relegation. Endo was in a relegation battling team. They signed that garage.
But this is what I'm saying. If you don't win the league and you don't get relegated, who cares?
No, I get what you mean, but at the end of the day, you got to be better than what the current manager out there is. And obviously you got the steps. Do you think if you get the right manager, you're challenging for the league next season? Even with Liverpool, our team wasn't good enough. Our players weren't good enough, man. That's why we didn't win no league. Our players ain't good enough. Arsenal, as much as they did, where they scored the most goals, conceded the least goals, it didn't matter, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's all about the mentality of the players that you got, and also it's all about trying to capitalize on the games that you should be capitalizing on. The reason why Arsenal lost the league is because they couldn't beat Aston Villa once, and they couldn't beat Fulham once. That December time period, they were terrible. Even though they only lost 2 games in. Wait, I think they only lost 1 game in 2024. 1 or 2 games in 2024. Conceding the fewest shots. Do you know how many games City lost in 2024? 0. Do you know John Rodri hasn't lost a game, since
Real Madrid.
Rodri hasn't lost a Premier League game since before Ivan Toney's ban. And Ivan Toney was banned for 8 months. Rodri's on he hasn't lost in over a year. So when you look at all these factors and all these stuff, yeah, those are the standards. Like we're in the Premier League era where dropping 1 point is a loss. So what we got factoring is the best way to beat Man City is to blow them out the water in terms of creating massive gaps. Because when it comes to title races, they are very good at applying pressure to teams when the race is close because they know how to consistently keep winning and winning and winning. And obviously when you got players like Haaland, who people said had an off year, Haaland still finished the season with 27 goals and like 35 goals in all competitions.
Yeah.
And look how many games he missed. Or he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything against all the big teams, bar Liverpool. He didn't do anything. He was garbage in pretty much all of these big games. But he still did what he needed to do. The problem is, with Chelsea is, I don't think Tuchel's an option. I think, honestly, I think it's more so hope. I think it's more so hope. I think Tuchel will welcome it. I think Tuchel's an option for Man United. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Tuchel and Poch is an option for Man United. I think if Ten Hag don't win on Saturday, he gets sacked. He might get
Do you
sacked
think
anyway.
Klopp? Do you think Klopp will go back on what he said about managing in the Premier League again?
No. Do you know why? Because his wife is the reason why he did an extra season. He wanted to quit last season first.
Remember I've said this, Wale. Jurgen Klopp, new Manchester United manager by 2028, I'll say, in the next 4 or 5 years.
No, I don't see that happening.
It will.
I don't see that
It's
happening.
coming.
I don't see that happening. Let me ask you this first. How old is Klopp now? And
60?
And Klopp with this structure, he would not last long at Man United.
What about Chelsea? Do you think you could see Klopp at Chelsea?
No, he would not last long at Chelsea because first you need to understand.
He'd probably get the Rafa Benitez treatment if he came, to be honest. But I'd like him.
Klopp would not last at Chelsea because here's what you gotta understand. Klopp, as loved as he is at Liverpool, he quit because he felt too much pressure.
Yeah.
At teams like Chelsea and Man United, where you're not their darling over there. You're not loved as you are at Liverpool. There's pressure. And I've shown you this. Klopp has shown signs, in my opinion, of being low-key washed. It was easy. It was close to his expiry date. Because defensively, Faz, in defensive transitions, Liverpool were left with two centre-backs. Robertson all the way forward. Trent was somewhere in midfield. McAllister.
Yeah, but do you think that he was washed? Or do you just think that the players have gone season after season after season, and they can't keep up with the demands of the way in which he wants to play?
He got rid of those players that were washed.
What?
The only player that he kept that was washed. The only person that he kept that was washed, I would say, is I'd probably say a Robertson. I think he's washed. He made Szoboszlai worse. Klopp doesn't know how to coach attacking midfielders. And the fun fact is, people brag on Núñez. Klopp has not coached a striker to be world class at Liverpool. At Liverpool, we've always been a false line club. Sturridge got worse. I know the injuries had an impact, but he got worse under Klopp. Origi, who was meant to be the next big thing in terms of being a striker, he became into a role player. So strikers haven't really thrived under Klopp because Klopp's demand of a striker: hold the ball up, press from the front, do this, track back, this. And when he talks about Núñez, he was talking about he needs to get better at holding the ball up. He's not even talking about goal scoring. He's ignoring goal scoring.
Right, let's talk about Arne Slot now then.
Okay then. Where do you want to start?
Your thoughts on him?
You look at his resume is the same as Ruben Amorim. It's literally like when it comes to Ruben Amorim and him, it's literally flirting versus harassment.
Okay. Your expectations for next season?
Go get top 4. That's it. Go get top
You
4.
think you will?
We should do. I think we're gonna finish third. I think if I'm gonna be real fast, I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna have a period. Let me tell you how the season's gonna plan out next season. Yeah, we're probably gonna sign back Kayoko from PSV, the winger. We're gonna sign a winger. I know that for a fact. We're signing a winger. Diaz is getting sold.
Yeah.
Diaz is getting sold. And I feel Diaz is the right person to get sold. Nunes is obviously staying because apparently Arnold Slot is good at player management in terms of getting into the psyche of players. So maybe that could help Nunes. I had a prediction, which guys we are going to be covering the Copa America. I think Uruguay are going to win, and I think Nunes is going to be player of the tournament. I think he's going to be top goal scorer in that tournament because for Uruguay, he just can't miss for some reason. He's just a different player. What was I going to say? As far as Arnold Slot, I think this is going to happen. We're going to have a start to the season that is going to be similar to Ange Postecoglou's, where everyone's going to go, yo, this Liverpool team's good, man. This team can win the league, man. They're great. They're going to win the league. And then when we get close to the end of the season, we're going to fall off and we're going to end up being third. We're going to do exactly the same as this season, but we're going to fall off a little bit earlier. We're going to end up third. We're going to end up third. I'll be very shocked. We'll probably end up third, win like a FA Cup or Carabao Cup, something like that. The reason why I say I don't think we'll fall off to the extent of Tottenham is Tottenham's fall off was very much predicted by a lot of people that knew football because we knew that their bench sucked.
Yeah.
Their bench
sucked. And to quote Chiellini, it is the history of Tottenham.
Yeah, their bench sucked. So everyone, like you said, history of Tottenham, their bench sucked. So all they needed to do is get one injury. Remember when Maddison got injured? They kind of limped through it. Van der Ven blew his hamstring out. They limped through it. Romeo, the centre back, got a red card against Chelsea, and then everything just went downhill after that Chelsea game. Let's be honest, fans. That Chelsea game went downhill because they had injuries, suspensions, all rolled into one, and they just can't defend. They can't defend. Vicario concedes a shit ton of shots.
Do you think that Mr. Arne Slot was the right appointment?
I don't know. Because I don't know too much about him. I feel like when it comes to Arne Slot, if I look at the peoples and the minds that are in charge of Liverpool right now, I can make a case that we got the perfect people. Because I think when Liverpool started going downhill and started dipping was when Klopp started having control in transfers.
Yeah.
Klopp didn't want Salah. He wanted Brandt. He wanted Brandt. Klopp didn't want who else? Another player. Klopp didn't want. He didn't. There was other players they didn't want, but he wanted Mario. He didn't want Mane. He wanted Mario Götze.
If you didn't get Arne Slot, who would you have liked?
Amorim.
Yeah.
But they said they said one of the major reasons is the Arne Slot has a good track record of developing players. Like there's this one guy that plays for Benfica. I think his name's Koshku. I can't remember. He plays for Benfica. A central midfield captain of the final team that helped Arne Slot win the league. Before Arne Slot was there, he was a bomb. Arne Slot came here. He made him the best player on the team. Got a big move to Benfica and became a bum again. And AZ Alkmaar, he coached them. So he almost won the league with them. And you know, Faz, that AZ team, that team is not known for winning the league in the Netherlands.
No.
The difference is, and this is where the difference between him and Ten Hag comes in. Ten Hag is like a Villas Boas. And let me tell you why. He had generational players that he was coaching that it was impossible to fail. Villas Boas had Hulk. He had a young Casemiro. He had Radamel Falcao. Faz, those players, you like in the Portuguese league, you're not losing with those players. Oh yeah, he had James Rodriguez as well, or James Rodriguez. You're not losing with those players. And if you look at Ten Hag's team, Frankie De Jong, De Ligt was amazing that season. Who else did they have? They had a bunch of other good players. What's that guy that used to play Tadic as well? They had all these
Hakim Ziyech,
all these ballers. That were
their fullbacks as well were good. I think I can't remember their names.
They had that one guy. I forgot his name.
Quincy Promes.
Yeah, they had Quincy Promise. They had what's that one guy? I forget his name. The one that plays for Man United that became a bomb.
Oh, not Blind. The other one.
They had Blind too as well.
Donny van der Beek.
Yeah, he was good then. So, fast. They had all these talented players. It was impossible not to lose. And plus, Ajax is like the Man City of that league. They have the most money compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
But and keep in mind, the reason why he couldn't win the league, Faz, with AZ Alkmaar, is because the season in 2020 got cancelled during COVID. And it was joint first with that team. And that team has the least budget. One of the lower budgets compared to the big team. So when you really look at it, he wasn't coaching the best two teams, because the best two teams everybody knows in the history of the Eredivisie League is Feyenoord.
Yeah.
No, not Feyenoord. Is Ajax
PSV and Ajax.
And he didn't coach none of them. So when you look at that, it shows to me that he has some tactical ability. And if you look at how he coaches in press, how he motivates his players and all that stuff, I can see why people can get up and play games for him. If you look at how Ten Hag coaches, I want you to go out there and kick the ball. Like, come on, man.
That geezer speaks the worst English I've ever seen for a Dutch person.
Based on what I've heard of the story, the reason why him and Ronaldo fell out was a miscommunication. And I'm not even gonna lie. And the crazy thing about it is Dutch people are normally great at English.
That's what I'm saying. They normally speak English very well and they sound cool when they speak English. But him, I'm like, who taught you English? Who taught you your tactics? Probably the same person.
Because normally, what happens is, I think his biggest issue is language barrier. That's crazy to say. I think his biggest issue is language barrier and recruitment. His recruitment has been poor. Like,
so you think that Arne Slot is the right appointment then, effectively?
Based on his play style, based on the fact that if you were to do the top seven leagues, he has the second best defense in the top seven leagues. He has
all whilst doing this on a budget that isn't the same as Ajax, PSV's, So yeah.
And obviously. I heard the reason why Liverpool didn't get Ruben Amorim because they liked Arne Slot's ability to develop players. They want to bring him so he can develop a Darwin Núñez,
so for me,
and an Ibrahim Konate, because I think Konate is an amazing defender. I just think he has those moments. And I think
for me, I'm not going to sit here and say that I watch the Eredivisie. Of course I don't, because it's a very boring league to me. I have no connection to it.
Slow.
But yeah. But the name Arne Slot, I've heard it for over a year now. Because I saw a lot of people online talking about Arne Slot to Chelsea. So, some of these people will definitely know what they're talking about by wanting him at Chelsea.
Guys, if you want to know about half of the players you're signing that are Brazilian, Mike Talks Football covered them like a year ago. The guy I DM'd, he covered them like a year ago. He's a good guy. I've spoken to him a few times. We're in like a group chat together talking football. Liverpool fan. He watches all these leagues. Brazilian league, freaking Ecuadorian league. I don't know how he has time to track all these leagues. And he made a video a year ago about Arne Slot having a great season with Feyenoord. He even predicted Enzo Fernandez when he joined Benfica that you get sold for 100 mil. So that guy covers a lot of these leagues. And the winger that you just bought, he's made a video months ago about him as well. So that guy is very knowledgeable when it comes to different leagues because he watches a lot of different leagues and follows a lot of different leagues. He's American as well, that lives in Finland. So for him, it's more so about he just loves football that much. That's why he's able to do all of that stuff. So and he's a big fan of that Ecuadorian player that you got. That's in Ecuador, I think.
Oh, Kendry.
Yeah, he's been fan of him. He's been hyping that dude up since he was like 15. Like he's a big fan of that dude. He said that dude's an absolute baller. And he talked about Caicedo and freaking McAllister and all those people. But yeah, man. Of course, there's a lot of optimism. I'm interested to see how things are gonna go. I want to see if he can actually develop Núñez because I think Núñez has bags of potential. And when I watch him for Uruguay, it pisses me off because all the chances that he would miss at Liverpool, he's smacking them top bins. I saw him against Brazil.
Yeah.
I saw him, that penalty they missed against Chelsea. I saw him score a clutch penalty the 90th minute. I saw him bang. I saw him score a goal against Emi Martinez. I saw him break Gabriel's ankles in international break. He's just a different beast for Uruguay. So if we can bring that in, that could help him a lot. And I feel like with someone like him, they need to get him to watch tape of himself so that he can actually self-analyze and get him to hold his run. And I watched a video about what Ian Wright said, and Ian Wright spoke knowledge on this. Yeah, and Vaz, you'll understand because you play striker. He said the reason why Nunes is offside is because the pass they're delivering to him they're taking too long to play the ball. So what happens is he tries to hold his run, but he's slightly offside because the ball should have been played slightly earlier. Obviously, in some instances, it's his fault, but it's the timing of the pass that is hurting him. And you know that, when you haven't touched the ball all game, and then they give you the ball and your touch is off, and then they get mad at you because they feel like you should have had an amazing ball control.
Yeah. Well, I just need to run to the toilet quick, yeah?
Oh, yeah. But guys, overall, though, I'm looking forward to see how Arne Slot's going to do as Liverpool manager. Hopefully he can cook. But you just never know with football, man. You never know. Am I extremely confident? No. Am I worried? Yes. But yeah. It is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Yeah, man. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Oh yeah, Nunes brought up a statement about social media. Okay, let's see. So guys, for the people in the chat, Nunes' statement follows. Okay, so Nunes has commented on the Andy Carroll chants. Okay, from the moment you start playing until you retire, there will always be people who criticize you. Okay? In that game, the Forest game, the Forest fans were singing to me, but I didn't understand anything. Thank goodness. I ended up scoring the goal, and then Klopp in the changing room said to me, "Screw them." So Faz, I know you're back.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Nunes came out with a statement.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what Nunes said. From the moment you start playing until you retire, there will always be people criticizing you. And this is him on the Andy Carroll chants. In the game, in the Forest game, Forest fans were singing to me, but I didn't understand anything. Thank goodness. I ended up scoring the goal, and then Klopp in the changing room said to me, "Screw them."
Yeah.
I'm not looking at anything, not even good stuff. If a game goes badly for me, I rely on my family and to tell me what happens is already there. It's always happened, and there is always revenge. Before, I did look into them a lot, and it affected me. Whoever says those negative comments do not affect me saying it does not affect them, they'll be lying. Those comments are directed towards you will always affect you. But now I ignore it. I ignore them because they are no use to me.
Well,
yeah, that's what he said.
Do me a favour. Can you get up how much he earns a week at Liverpool?
Nunes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Nunes earns, I think it's like 150. Okay, yeah, 140.
So he earns just over £500,000 a month.
Yeah.
And he's worried about what fans are calling him Andy Carroll.
No. He's not worried. They asked him about the chants. He said he didn't understand the shit. He said because obviously since they.
But this is what I mean. And my point on all of this, Wale, is a lot of them are so self-absorbed. So, oh, me, 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 me. You're in a privileged position playing for some of the biggest clubs in the world on good money. Not even good money, incredible money. Money that most people will never see. You earn weekly. Not even like it's oh, you've got to wait a year for your money. No, you get paid weekly an incredible amount of money. And yet they still continue to cry and come out and say about
I don't.
FA Cup replays, about, oh, we have to play on New Year's Day. Get over it.
Let
You
me
know,
let me
get
let,
over
let me
yourself.
tell you what I think.
There's a
I don't
difference
think.
between sorry, between abuse and criticism. Abuse is wrong. Well, but abuse is wrong. You know? Like you shouldn't go about abusing players.
Okay, let me.
But criticizing them, we have every single right to criticize these pricks.
I
They're
will say,
earning big money. They're in a privileged position. You should, if you're a professional footballer and you get given a chance, you should be hitting the back of the net 9 out of 10 times.
okay,
But they just want to feel sorry for
let
themselves
me
and
let me
make all
say
these
let me say
excuses.
this. Yeah. Um, this is what Nunes' statement for what I took it as is someone asked him the question about the Andy Carroll chance. He said he didn't understand it, and then he said thank God I didn't understand it. But the stuff getting to you, that makes sense because you gotta look at it from a standpoint where even Faz, if we look at it, yeah, we can make a case here that we're more privileged than people that are in other countries that are
Of
struggling.
course.
The thing
Yeah.
about it is, yeah, it's one of those things that we can't. Your struggle is your struggle. If you're going through mental
That's,
health stuff, then I hope you get better. But at the end of the day, the constructive criticism is needed for players. And I don't think, and I
yeah.
feel like he said they're gonna criticize you. He said he don't look at the good comments no more. He don't look at the bad comments. So I'm expecting you to play better next season. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Because if you say you don't look at this stuff, and you say when you see it does affect you, because I'm not gonna lie, if I was in this position, I would still be pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. You see,
But Wale, you have to.
Victor
I'm not
Osimhen,
going to lie.
Victor Osimhen,
Listen.
Victor Osimhen argues
Yeah.
with people on Twitter when he was playing shit for Nigeria.
This
So
is what I'm saying. I'd either go down that route where I would be a troll, or I would just not have any of these social medias because I'll tell you why. I'm a millionaire. I have the nicest cars in the country. I have the nicest women.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna finish what he said. He said he has the nicest cars in the country, the nicest women. I completely understand. I just see it as one of those things where at the end of the day, you as a player, you gotta learn to try and block out the noise. You know what I mean? You gotta learn to block out the noise. You gotta learn to block out the noise and try and do the best you can to be the best player you can. So, yeah, man. You just gotta learn to block out the noise, innit? There's not really a lot to say about that. But, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Sorry, hello?
No, I was just saying that you just gotta learn to block out the noise. That's why I said that if
Yeah.
Nunes trying to, cause I think I know what he's done. I think he removed all the stuff so he can't really talk or post. He's just gonna post on stories and shit. Because I noticed something, he's not posting as much. And apparently he used to get abused when he was playing for Uruguay. But then now they treat him like a god because he turned his career around. I just feel
Yeah.
like he's one of those people that start off slower. Obviously, people say that the season that he had that was amazing is an outlier, which that could be the case. But what people need to factor into account is the age he was doing all those things. Like
Yeah.
a good example is Jackson is only 22 years old. So when people call Jackson's unproven, of course he's unproven. He hasn't been a professional for that long. What do people expect? I just feel like people like Jackson, Nunes, who else is there? Hoyland. I feel like they're gonna be real good strikers in their late 20s.
Yeah.
And for him, I want you to be better next season. I want you to focus on shooting from 6 yards out, 5 yards out. I don't want you to work on long shots because your long shots are amazing. I know you can bang a shot from like outside the box.
Yeah.
But you're a striker. Majority of the chances you're going to get is going to be inside the box. So what I need you to do is work on inside the box. And it goes back to what Rooney said, Faz. Rooney said these players don't work on finishing. Rooney said, back in the day, we used to have 6 or 7 balls out. And we used to take 100 shots working on finishing. But now these sports scientists want these players to stay off their feet. No wonder they can't score. The players back in the day work on finishing more than these players now. Sturridge said it. Rooney said it. Alan Shearer says it. All these old school strikers, they're not saying that you cannot improve finishing. All of them think that you can. The issue is people like Jamie Carragher that's never played striker trying to say that you can't improve finishing. I've always believed that you can improve finishing. I just don't think these players are working on the necessary stuff to improve finishing. The scenarios you're working on is not helping you improve finishing. Are the positions and the runs you're gonna make, are they gonna produce you being in the position to score? Or are you going to be in a position where I'm never going to be in this in-game scenario? If you're never going to be in this in-game scenario, then cut that training out. It's useless. There's like no point. That's my standpoint on that, man. You got anything else to add to that? Because after that, let's wrap up this stream, man.
I don't have much to add. Apart from bring back Super Thomas Tuchel. He knows exactly what we need.
Okay. Let's see what happens, man. Maybe Thomas Tuchel and Todd Bowley can reconcile their differences.
Look. The last thing to add before you said, before we end the stream. Sorry, my thing's messed up. Before we end the stream, the last thing to add is Mourinho came back under Abramovich. Abramovich never brought back anyone other than Mourinho. And a lot of people never thought it would happen. So all I'm saying is maybe it's a bit premature to expect Thomas Tuchel to come back now, but he could come back within the next few years. I would hope that is now. Just admit you've made the mistake. Let's restart. Let's have Thomas Tuchel come back in, a winner, an elite tactician who will get this club fighting for the major honours again.
Okay. That's fair. I'll say this first, and this is me being honest here. Abramovich cared more about winning than anything. He put winning above everything. It's yet to be seen if these owners will put winning above everything. Right now, it seems like a prideful stance, but let's see what happens in the future and let's see what direction they want to go in. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the stream. Let me know how you guys feel down in the comment section below. Obviously, there's going to be clips posted around this. Probably later today at night because I got a bunch of clips to post. I got to post my NBA clip because we've been covering the NBA. Shout out to Gemini Hoops for helping me cover the NBA. I'm going to post his prediction on the Wolves and Mavericks series in the NBA. At the end of the day, guys, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and also watch the playback. These timestamps will be implemented later.